Hello and welcome to Mike's Camera Action. We're back from our break, and joining us today is, of course, your lovely host, Carl. I'm joined by my co-host, Alex, as always.
Hello.
And we're joined by a special guest who I'll let introduce himself.
Hi, everybody.
Great introduction.
I think so. Hi, everybody. I'm Corey. Hey, I'm on Rewind Replay, a YouTube channel where we do movie reviews and other fun stuff. Make sure you check that out.
Perfect.
Don't worry, you'll get your plugs. Don't worry.
No, I'm going to plug throughout the whole way, like mid-sentence. I'm going to be like, so Cinematic Universe is, by the way, Rewind Replay.
It's like me whenever I talk to anybody about anything. I'm just like, oh, what do you do, Carl? Well, I like movies, and also I talk about movies on my show Mike's Camera Action,
Subscribe.
which you should totally subscribe to and like on Facebook. Also follow me on Twitter.
But you guys pulled me along today. What are we talking about?
Today, as you've already kind of hinted at, we're talking about cinematic universes. So we've been kind of like playing this up since the first episode when we kind of cut ourselves up on a conversation about Solo. But we want to talk about all the different kinds of cinematic universes, what makes one, who's doing it right, who's doing it wrong, which is most of them.
Yeah, because usually you guys talk about like your favorite movies.
Yeah. Normally we do like a book of the week, movie of the week.
Yeah,
sort
because
of
I'm disappointed we didn't talk about Last Action Hero.
Oh, God.
We'll come back and do it.
You know what? Yeah,
I'll have to come back in another episode.
Come back later in the season or
yeah.
next season. We've got to do that.
Spoiler alert,
Yeah.
that is my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
I love that movie.
Anyway, so we're talking about cinematic universes, and start things off. We'll make it clear as to what a cinematic universe is.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because we were discussing...
Because there's like extended universes, and then there's cinematic universes.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like,
There is a bit of a
How?
distinction.
well, I don't know. I lost my train of thought.
Okay,
I had
well,
a thought. Well,
Wow.
a cinematic universe is, I imagine, separate films that connect in one storyline.
yeah.
For a cinematic universe, it's a single universe. Like, it's a single world all interconnected with different movies. It's not all sequential. You've got characters coming in and out, but it's all contained within film.
Yeah,
For extended universe, you can have some crossover into TV shows. You can have, like, book tie-ins, comic tie-ins.
Yeah, and we were discussing, is a sequel, say, a trilogy, say, for example, Back to the Future, is that a cinematic universe?
Not really.
I would argue no.
Because it's still telling like the one narrative, and like they still include like basically the same characters.
So if there was something, say, a reference in another movie with Back to the Future, then would it be then?
I think referencing,
Because
not so much.
I have an example.
All right,
Okay.
give us your example.
Let's start on this one before we get into like
Yeah.
sort of the bigger, more well-known ones. I want to know what your example is.
Well, I've got tons of examples
Yeah?
of like small things that hint that they're all connected universes, whatnot. Well, there's Doc Brown pops up in 1,000 Ways to Die in the West. Did any of you see that?
No.
No, really.
Seth MacFarlane film.
Yep, I've heard of it. I know
Yeah.
of it.
Well, there's a reference where Seth MacFarlane's character goes into the barn, opens it up, and there's Doc Brown fixing the time machine.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
So, and it's obviously if you're a Back to the Future fan,
Yeah.
it's funny.
You'd admit,
you like
you'd be like, oh yeah, that's the barn from Back to the Future 3. Like, yeah.
It was pretty good, but then the rest of the movie was pretty crap.
Yeah, I think there's a difference
yeah,
between
well, I haven't
referencing
seen it.
something and being in the same cinematic universe.
I mean that basically shows that you exist in the same world as
Yeah.
that film.
Yeah, so would that be extended universe?
I'm not sure, because like you got to take into the tone of the movie into account as well.
Do you though? Because I think let's say like in the Marvel universe, I think Captain America: The Winter Soldier has a very different.
It's
has a
Marvel's
very different
darkest movie.
tone.
Yeah.
Has a very different tone to Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, but they're all clearly in the same universe. That's what I'm.
But
as-
you're suggesting a tone. You're suggesting tone is important when
Yeah,
you can
because
really
if
vary
I'm
it
playing
up.
satire as 1,000 Ways to Die in the West, set in the West, Doc Brown.
It's the references from Back to the Future 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the whole thing of that is that it's in the West, so we're going to chuck this in as like a
a little
gag.
gag.
It's like all the stuff that they do in like all the scary movies, where there's the Ring Girl
Yeah.
in Scary Movie 3. Do the Scary Movie and the Ring
Well, no.
take place?
No,
in the
because
That
that's kind
is
of-
parody.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
parody.
Yeah, that does blatantly suggest just parody.
Because Well, all right. I've got another example that might actually. Have you guys seen the movie Collateral?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you remember the start of Collateral with Tom Cruise?
In the airport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you how much I
and
love
Jason
Collateral.
Statham pops
Yeah.
up, drops
Yep.
off a thing.
Yeah.
There's a lot of theories that he is the same character from the Transporter series.
Ah.
So are the Transporter
But-
series connected to Collateral?
Well, that would beg the question of I don't know much about the Transporter, but I do know a thing or two about Collateral. Let me tell you, studied that for about a year. Yeah,
good movie.
Alex knows about me and
Yeah.
Collateral.
It's a good movie though.
Oh, it's
Oh,
a
yeah, oh,
fantastic
yeah.
movie. It's one of my favorite roles Tom Cruise has ever done, or one of my favorite movies Tom Cruise has been in. But
Risky business.
but does the Transporter come from the same studio as Collateral?
It's actually the same director.
really
okay,
is Michael
then-
Mann?
yeah, then
does
I-
Michael Mann do it as well?
Is it Michael Mann?
Michael Mann,
Yeah,
Collateral.
Michael Mann is the director of Collateral.
Does he do Transporter as well?
I don't know.
Okay.
Good old.
It's a race
see-
to IMDb right now to try and get it.
Wikipedia. This is very great.
Oh, this is riveting audio conversation. Is Alex tapping out?
The director of the audio. No, it's Louis Leterrier.
Okay, but who's the producer?
And,
What studio is
Corey-
the producer?
You win.
Because you can have because if they're completely unattached, like you can't just claim that. That's like that's like when the guy who made Gone Home claimed it was set in the BioShock universe. It's like, well, it isn't though, is it?
So Europa Corp, TF1 Films Production, and Canal Plus.
Okay, so different.
Yeah.
What is
Yeah.
it? Written? I don't know. There was a behind the scenes link I heard somewhere, but I could be wrong now.
That said, I would
Because
that that kind of stuff is cool though.
he's
to
the,
like
he's the
focus on that.
same actor, obviously, doing the same thing that his
Yeah.
character would do in Transporter.
No,
So-
I do like those sort of fan tie-ins. Like someone mentioned, I know a popular theory is that Event Horizon is set in the 40K universe, which I'm not sure if that means anything to anybody, but that's one of my favorite fan theories because it totally makes sense.
See,
I mean-
I just watched Event Horizon the other day for the first
Yeah.
time.
I
Okay,
haven't seen it.
Not a fan.
Yeah.
It's like the best B grade horror movie there is, and it's got A-list stars like Sam Neill.
yeah,
Oh.
Lawrence Fishburne.
yeah, and
Maybe I should check it out.
It's pretty. It's okay.
Yeah.
like I don't mind
it's
it.
very 90s.
It does take a very different like I was saying, I watched it with the context that it was like a prequel to Warp Travel in 40K, which is where like, oh, you go to the space between space, like the interdimensional
Oh, yeah.
rift, and it's full of demons and it's horrid
Well,
and
yeah,
terrible.
like it's funny. Like you think about the plot of it, and it's like I think we're getting off track, but I'll
a
finish
little
it
bit,
quickly.
but who cares?
I'll finish it quickly. It's like the plot is how to conquer space travel, and he's made a black hole essentially, and
Yeah.
it travels to hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the idea of like to go faster than light, you don't travel faster. You just fold space and go from
Yeah.
that point. Like it's the whole. I know my teacher in like year 8 science used to explain the same
Well,
the
it's
same way. where you
same
take,
reference
like-
that's in Stranger Things.
yeah,
if you remember that.
It's you take the piece of paper, fold it through, poke a hole with the pencil through the paper, like that. You
It's
just folded.
essentially
So
like
instead of going-
teleportation.
yeah,
thing.
I'm aware
Yeah,
of the
so instead of
analogy.
going
I've
from
just
point A
never
to B,
seen.
you just
I'm
close it.
aware of
Stranger
the analogy.
Things.
Yeah. So it does
Yeah,
that. but,
you fold
yeah.
space rather than move fast. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it does. So it's basically that, but the portal between point A and B is through hell.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's a cool idea. It's very cheesy.
Oh yeah.
But
It's
I'll give you a
ridiculous.
reference of like what you think the movie might be. It's written. Actually, I'm not sure if it's written, but it's directed by the same guy who's directed all the Resident Evil movies. So
That tells you enough.
Anderson, something S. Anderson.
I haven't seen any of the Resident
You have
Evil
not seen the
films.
Resident Evil movies.
I think I started watching one of them, then stopped.
Okay.
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Stop.
started watching the first
good
one
idea.
and then stopped.
Good idea, because they just keep making those.
Yeah, why?
All right. Well, we'll jump
Because
back on
they
track.
make
Yeah,
money.
anyway.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
So, well, there's more references. Say, for example, Jaws, the character of the scientist. Anyone?
I don't remember.
I don't remember his name. It's
I
been a
for-
long time since I
forgot the
watched
actor's name,
Jaws.
But in Piranha 3D, he's essentially playing the same character.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
That's a good tie-in.
yeah. I thought that was good. Alex is
One
breaking
seafaring
down
monster-
over there. In
Yeah,
Cornwall.
Alex has lost it. We've broken him, turning Jaws to
Is
Piranha.
Piranha 3D the one that happens at the water park?
Or is that 3 double D?
No, isn't that Jaws?
No, there's one that happens at like a water park.
That's it.
Maybe it might be
There is like a pool scene in Piranha 3D, right?
Yeah, or
Yeah.
maybe it's 3 double D. I don't remember. I started watching one of them. I'm like, what the hell am I watching?
Is 3D and 3 double D the same movie?
I don't know.
I think that. I don't think it is.
It sounds right.
I don't know. Well, I just remember being like, why am I watching this? I'm going to change the channel now.
So it's actually got. Oh my god! It's actually got a decent cast. It's got
Yeah.
like Elizabeth Shue, Christopher Lloyd.
Was James Cameron working on that movie at some point?
No, that was James Cameron's first movie, which was Piranha 2.
Okay,
Something
it was-
like that?
Yeah.
I thought
okay.
James Cameron's first movie was Terminator.
No,
No.
he had one movie before Terminator.
Okay.
Richard Dreyfuss Richard Dreyfuss's character. So who's the
Ah,
scientist in Jaws?
Yeah.
He essentially plays the same character that's in Piranha,
Yeah.
and he dies.
You don't need a bigger boat for piranhas.
Giant sharks couldn't get him, but little
But,
piranhas
little,
could.
little fish could.
I do. So I got other ones, but we could
Yep.
bring them up a bit later because discuss Star Wars a bit
Yeah.
later, I imagine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
yeah, so we're trying to figure out like difference between cinematic universes and just references.
I
Yeah.
think my thing is that it's got to have like a narrative element to it.
Yeah.
So it's not just
like-
like someone popped up here.
Yeah.
No, tiny crossover. It's fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like you need to have a bit more interlinking narrative. Like there needs to be a larger story.
What
at
about
large.
Tarantino's?
Tarantino? I think is actually a decent example.
Yeah, Tarantino, I would argue.
Because there's
is
no
almost-
real
There's-
direct links.
No, there's
No.
no plot links between any
The
of
only
them.
ones,
Like, you
the
need
only
to
thing
watch
I can
any to
really
get
think
them.
of is actually like some characters related.
Yeah.
So, like for example, if you've seen Reservoir Dogs, Mr. Blonde
Yeah.
is the brother of
John Travolta's
John
character
Travolta's
in
character
in
Pulp
Pulp
Fiction. Yeah.
I mean, I would argue that makes it helps build it to be a cinematic universe, though.
yeah, that does tell the story of a bunch
Because
of
the common
interconnected
thread is also
narratives.
the director.
Then I think one of the characters in Hateful Eight is like the ancestor of another one of the characters from
Yeah.
Reservoir Dogs. I think.
Yeah, I think it's Tim Roth's character,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which does make sense
But yeah,
Who
so
would
I
make-
because he
think,
like dies.
Yeah.
Both of them die actually.
yeah.
Yeah.
Tarantino actually outright says that all his films take place in the universe.
Yeah.
in the same universe.
Except Kill Bill, I believe.
Really?
Oh, okay, yeah.
Because Kill Bill is like the imagination universe inside the Tarantino universe. So it's sort of like
Okay.
there's a reference of like Mia from Pulp Fiction
Yeah.
talking about the TV show she was on.
yeah, and she references.
It's essentially
basically Kill
lays
Bill.
out the
plot
idea
of Kill Bill.
Yeah, well, not the plot, but like
Well,
the
yeah,
idea.
The concept. Yeah, the concept. Okay.
So yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
that's-
apparently that's like a TV show or something, a bit more wacky inside that universe. So that's pretty. It's pretty.
And
cool.
then there's the theory that the ending of Pulp Fiction takes place in a different timeline or something.
What was the ending?
So it's the same as the beginning where Tim Roth?
Yeah, Tim Roth.
Yeah, Tim Roth's character pulls out a gun,
Oh yeah, and he.
but he
yeah.
delivers a different line.
Yeah.
It's not the same line.
Yeah, it's not the same line at
Yeah.
the beginning of the movie.
So
and the
that's
final scene
why
of the
that's
movie.
why they're talking about it being a different timeline.
Yeah. Or
Okay.
it could just been like filming thing.
Yeah,
Could
Because
be
it's
a
the same
blunder,
thing
could
when
be
you
an
watch
actual
the
thing.
end of Back to the Future and the start of Back to the Future 2. Because they
Yeah.
had to reshoot it.
yeah. But at the same time, Tarantino's a massive perfectionist.
That's true.
I'd be really surprised if you let something like that slip.
Well, it was
Especially let it slip in the edit as well.
Yeah,
Surely, you never. Sometimes you never notice, or sometimes you never know like the reasoning behind it. Maybe
yeah.
like it could be.
I mean, it could be the whole reason why it changed is because in the other timeline, what's his not Jules? Jules?
Jules is
Samuel Jackson.
Yes,
Jackson's
Jules is
character.
in the cafe.
Yeah. Okay.
Whereas, like, maybe in the other one he wasn't. Who knows?
So maybe the difference is Marvin being shot in the face
Yeah.
in one timeline as opposed to the other.
Yeah, who knows?
Okay.
I love that scene.
I just shot Marvin in the face.
Man, you gotta have an opinion.
Why'd you do that?
But yes, yeah, that's my theory. Is that that's something I've read online is that they take place in the different timelines. But still, like, it's the fact that the characters are interconnected, but as Tarantino actively went out and said, "This is what I'm doing," it kind of changes the whole idea behind it.
Well, what's your thoughts on Machete being Uncle Machete from Spy Kids?
Yeah, no, it's legit.
That's legit.
It's real. It's legit.
So would that's cinematic universe for you?
Yeah, that's a
I think so.
cinematic
I
universe.
feel like this whole podcast is just like, let's convince Alex of what's a cinematic
yeah,
universe.
let's tell Alex what is and
Well,
isn't.
Robert Rodriguez has also come out and said that all his films take place in the same universe or something.
Yeah.
So
Shark Boy and Lava Girl and the Spy Kids films take place.
did he make
That's
Shark Boy and
so-
Lava Girl?
he-
Yeah, he made
did.
Shark Boy and Lava Girl. Yeah,
There's definitely like a visual element to a Rodriguez film. Like you can tell it's him. You can
Yeah.
always tell. Like anytime I think about a movie and I'm like, oh yeah, no, he definitely did that. There's just a visual style to it where you know it's got to be him.
Yeah.
Where everything seems kind of fake.
yeah, and there's the whole thing about Grindhouse connecting the Tarantino and Rodriguez universes. Let's not get into.
Jesus.
Yeah, let's not do that. Because
that-
Death Proof,
that's
I
gonna
don't
stretch.
mind,
Yeah,
but Planet Terror is so bad. Like, I get you going for like bad, cheesy B grade horror, but like, it was just bad.
yeah.
All right, well, let's talk about what is probably the best cinematic universe.
Yeah, the one that's definitely succeeding and.
DCEU.
DCU. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
big into
absolutely.
it.
The DCEU, Suicide Squad, best film of all time, and let me tell you why. Oh, that hurts to say.
Hey, it's still better than Batman vs Superman.
The only
No,
thing.
I'm going to disagree with you on that, actually.
No, at least I had a bit of fun with Suicide Squad.
Did you play the drinking game where you drink every time the song changes?
Did you?
I'd
Are you-
I wanted to.
Well, you would have been dead, Alex.
You were there. You were there the only time I've seen Suicide
Yeah.
Squad.
We'll discuss DC.
Yeah, we'll
In
come
a
back to
bit.
DC
Yeah.
because
Obviously
the
we're
successful one is obviously the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yeah.
Undeniably.
Yeah, of course.
They're the ones who have been doing it for 10 years and been
19
doing it
fil-
well.
20
20
films?
films now.
Ant-Man and the Wasp is the 20th.
Does
film.
Yeah.
does that include the Incredible Hulk?
Yeah.
Okay. Just
The Incredible
wondering,
Hulk's
because-
the second.
But
The Incredible
but
Hulk is canon.
But Incredible Hulk is a bit of a different one because it's not the
it's-
Marvel like Disney films. It's by Universal, isn't
Yeah,
it?
so it's the black sheep of the MCU.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is still connected.
Okay.
Obviously, it's got returning characters of General Ross.
yeah.
And Robert Downey Jr., who comes in at the
He does,
post-credit
yeah.
scene.
Yeah, I think he's still in it somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know
Okay.
where he's doing.
Yeah, the post-credit scene is what happens.
Oh,
I
it's
think-
actually not even
yeah.
a post-credit scene. It's actually just the end of the movie.
Yeah.
No, I thought there was also a post-credit scene.
No.
Then where was
No,
I
you might be
seeing
right,
Samuel
yeah.
L. Jackson in a post-credit scene?
Samuel L. Jackson's in a post-credit
so
scene
he's
in
popped up
Iron
in-
Man 1.
Oh, maybe that's
Iron
it.
Man 1. You know, I found out something the other day. Apparently, that was supposed to be the end of the movie as well.
Really?
But then Edgar Wright actually came out saying, like, you should probably cut that off and put it at the end of the credits.
I feel like
Now
that
people
was a
just
good
sit
move.
through the credits.
I think
Yeah.
that was a good move though because
Yeah.
it's a much stronger ending to have it end on Tony Stark just being like, "I am Iron Man," and it makes the
Late.
film.
It's
Yeah,
like
see,
Iron
that was a
Man.
good ending.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That was a strong ending to just be like right there, just be like, "I'm." The answer is I'm Iron Man, and then it just ends, and that's a really good ending for it, and it makes it stand alone really well.
Yeah.
And then it kind of sprinkles in like the by the way,
Yeah.
Shield.
So with the Incredible Hulk, the problem is the Incredible Hulk is actually owned by Universal Studios, which is why there's no solo Hulk movies.
Yeah, there is no Hulk movie. There's no Planet Hulk movie because
Yeah.
it's a weird.
It's a weird contract thing.
Yeah, it's like
It's
a weird thing where they can't have a Hulk movie and they can't have Hulk be in the title of a movie, I think. But
Yeah.
the character is allowed to be present.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's like a worse version of what they got with Spider-Man and Sony.
Yeah, it's like a
worse.
weird tenuous
It's actually
thing.
worse.
Yeah, I said it's a worse
Yeah,
version.
Oh, yeah,
like
sorry.
with Spider-Man and Sony, like at least they can make a Spider-Man movie
can
and
all
they
get
can have
along.
him lead his movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Mark Ruffalo said it best. It's like it seems like Universal just don't want to make money.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what they're doing.
Just sell him off.
But yeah,
But,
it's so that's still connected. So that's the second film in
Yep.
20 total MCU movies.
Yeah.
I think that was those were both 2008. I
Yeah, they
think,
came out the
Iron
same
Man
year.
and yeah.
Yeah.
And then
it was 2009. I think I had nothing. I've actually got the
yeah.
list.
So
here.
I actually know it off heart.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So 2009, nothing came out. 2010 was Iron Man 2.
Yep.
And then 2011 had Thor and Captain America.
Okay.
And obviously 2012
Okay.
Avengers, and then it just kept going on from there and there.
So I have a question.
Yes.
So for you guys, what was the point when you realized in the Marvel Cinematic Universe that they'd actually done it? Like they'd actually created this interlinking narrative of all these characters. At what point did it click?
I'd say Avengers. Like
Avengers?
when I was like, oh, they've actually done it.
Yep.
Because you kept getting references like Nick Fury popped up in a few.
Yeah, Nick
you
Fury,
kept getting like
Coulson
these
showing up.
recurring characters, especially in the end credit scenes.
Yep.
But it's not until like you see them all there that you're like, oh wow, this is actually all connected. It all
Yeah.
makes sense now. Like the plot has been developing. Because you've got the Tesseract, which
Yeah.
appeared in Captain America.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, my one was like I remember seeing Iron Man and Incredible Hulk, and I'm like, oh, everyone thought because I don't know what
My mistake.
my spittoon.
Ding. Get my tuned baggy.
Yeah, and it was like everyone thought that I don't know what was happening with the internet, like no one used it, but everyone thought that Iron Man was gonna like fight the Hulk.
Yeah.
Yeah, which we didn't get that until what?
Age of
Avengers
Ultron.
2.
Yeah,
Age of Ultron, yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we thought was gonna happen back in the day.
Yeah.
But my one was
impossible.
actually Thor. Like you
Yeah.
had Agent Coulson coming up,
Yeah.
and he was in Iron Man 2.
Yeah.
Coulson came up. There was links everywhere, and then obviously that after credit scene was Samuel L. Jackson. and
Yeah.
all that was good.
I mean, but then it
It was 2011 for me. It was like because Thor and Captain America.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I feel like it didn't super duper hit
Yeah,
until Avengers 3.
For me, it was
Avengers
Avengers
3?
2 was
Infinity War.
No, Avengers 2. For
What do
me,
you
it was.
mean?
No, it's
I
in,
actually have a really good point about Infinity
no,
War. So for
and
me,
the fact that you've got like everyone there, basically everyone who's they've shown on screen,
Yeah, the
is in Infinity War.
Avengers.
yeah, Avengers.
Yeah.
That's actually not true. That's not true.
Well, almost all like most of the main characters.
Yeah,
will
that's
appear
true. We're
on
missing
screen.
Hawkeye and Ant-Man in 3.
and Nick Fury. Oh, actually, no, he did pop up.
Yeah, Nick Fury popped up at the very end. Spoilers.
Where was Hawkeye?
Yeah.
Where was my boy?
That's what we're going to get in Avengers
Was he
4.
finally building that alcove? Or
Avengers 4, we're just going to get like the opening sequence. It's
And he's
just
just-
Hawkeye's entire family turning to dust around him. Just,
He-
my
he-
kids, my wife.
He was like renovating his kitchen or something.
yeah,
on
He's
the
putting in a
farm.
new wing. For me, the moment it clicked, like, oh, okay, they've actually connected these. Like, there's always those references, like Captain America's shield showed up in Iron Man 2. Thor's hammer was at the end of Iron Man 2 as well. There was
It's
Iron Man and the
after it's seen.
Hulk crossing over.
actually, that actually reminds me. Did you say that Captain America came out before of Captain Iron Man 2?
No, Captain America came out
No.
after.
So
Did
Iron
it?
Man, Iron Man 2 came
Yeah.
out 2010.
It was Iron Man 2, Thor, Captain America.
You missed the Incredible Hulk.
Okay, well, there's a reason.
Okay,
for that.
because I was pretty sure. Oh,
Captain
man.
America was the last movie before the Avengers.
Yeah.
Okay, because I definitely remember the scene in Iron Man 2 where Coulson picks this up and he's like,
What are
"Why
you
have you
doing
got
at
this?"
this? Yeah, what are you
Yeah.
doing at this?
Yeah, that's why I thought it came out afterwards.
But it was like a prototype or something.
Yeah, it was incomplete. I remember, but it was still like, "Why have you got this?"
The one point for me where it finally clicked that like they had turned comics, like the comic universes, into a movie was in Infinity War. The moment Red Skull shows up, because that was the most comic book moment I've ever seen in a movie, where you take a character who hasn't appeared in a movie in 7 years, bring him back, like this side character who you completely forgot existed, bring him back for a role that is completely different to how you saw them before, and it's just like, oh, remember this guy? Yeah, he does this now, by the way. Like, Red Skull is now the guy who watches over the Soul Stone.
Yeah, I was actually watching when I watched it with my friend, and he brought his girlfriend. And his girlfriend, like, he popped up, Red Skull popped on the screen, and she's like, "Oh, that's the Captain America man."
I had the exact opposite experience where I was sitting with a couple of friends, and one of them leaned over to the other and said, "Who's that guy?"
Yeah.
Like, it was this dramatic reveal, and it's like, and I'm sitting there like,
Well,
it's Red Skull!
It's,
And they're like,
yeah, see, it's pretty funny of, like, younger generations. It's like, younger kids, it's like, this has been around for 10 years.
yeah.
And they're, like, just getting into it from, like, the past couple movies or whatever it is, and it's like, wow.
That is shocking to me that
I mean,
this came out
it's
when I was
it
12.
started when I was in like primary school, and now
Yeah.
I finished uni, and they're still going.
That's shocking to me that can still be happening.
Oh, God, I was in high school.
I was only out of high school by like a year, so
But yeah, so Marvel can do it right. And
Yeah.
why do we think that is?
I think part of it is Kevin Feige. It just helps
Someone,
so
someone
much.
who's watching it.
Yeah,
Like,
someone who from the beginning has had like some sort of vision, or at least someone who's producing every single movie and having their hand in it to be like, okay, but you got to have like, yes, you can do this, but you got to have this. I think that was part of why I think Edgar Wright walked up, like left production on Ant-Man because it was because like it had to be married to the rest of the universe in a way.
Yeah, but in saying that, if you watch Ant-Man, it didn't really
Not really at all.
connect
No.
way too much.
The,
I mean,
the only
besides
connection to it was Ant-Man fighting Falcon.
yeah.
Which,
yeah, and going into the Avengers base.
yeah, real
Yeah.
strong connection.
Yeah,
like,
but aside
just,
from that,
I fought an
it's-
Avenger.
But I mean, he was supposed to be attached. Like he was attached way back in like 2006, I
Yeah.
believe.
Yeah,
And,
God.
Yeah, and
that thing went into development hell though. So
I mean, it's Ant-Man. Like,
yeah, it's
until I actually saw Ant-Man on screen, there's no way you could have convinced me that would work.
have you
no
ever
way.
seen Honey, I Shrunk the Kids?
I have.
It can bloody work.
At this point, I'll believe.
Speaking of cinematic universes, they made
Honey, I Shrunk the Kids cinematic.
well,
is
we-
it Honey I Shrunk the Kids, Honey I Blew Up the Kid, and Honey I Shrunk
Yeah.
Ourselves.
Honey, I Shrunk Ourselves.
that is one of the greatest trilogies of all time.
Oh,
And not to mention, they're all Disney movies.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, I didn't realize that either until I watched them because they all just played back to back on TV, and I'm like, oh, and it's all Disney, yeah,
yeah.
cinematic universe.
You're right though. I think the whole idea of like having someone over it being watching it,
Oh, it
I
must
think
help
it's part
so
of the
much.
reason. Like Tarantino's cinematic universes kind of thing works because he's the only one doing anything.
It's all his
It's
movies.
all his.
It's way easier to make everything work when you're the like linking factor.
Yeah.
I think.
See, this is I think something that lets down Star Wars from making one,
Yeah.
ignoring the fact that they've got most of Star Wars exists in a trilogies,
Yeah.
prequel, sequel, and a OT.
Yeah.
Well, it does have two animated TV series which are all canon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as like an extended universe, it doesn't really take.
Well,
there's not someone over it really. There's Kathleen
no.
Kennedy now,
Yeah.
But it used to be, I don't know who it was,
That-
but whoever
that's the
oversaw Phantom Menace, I think, got the sack.
That's
maybe.
something that makes me wonder about.
George Lucas.
Yeah.
It was all George Lucas.
Yeah. And so like now he stepped away, and now there's all this other stuff.
That's something I have to question about the Marvel films is does anyone like liaise between Disney Marvel with these films and then the guys doing the TV shows? Like, do they talk to the guys producing Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and like Netflix about all their shows, or do they just like drop this stuff home?
Well, the funny thing is, I think they've done it on purpose where Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and all the Netflix shows, they can like the shows say, yeah, we're canon, but if they wanted to in the movies, they could just be like, that's not. Which
Yeah.
they have. They've really kind of
there's
separated, which is
No
unfortunate.
crossover.
No.
Like
No.
Coulson hasn't shown up since Avengers, so now good
Well,
on him. Leading
He's
his own
actually
show.
going to show up in
Captain
Captain Marvel, but
I've
it is a
heard.
prequel.
It
Yeah.
is, yeah, set in the 90s. So there's still there's no connection, there's no evidence in the movies at all that he's still alive.
There's only one, and my friend argues it to this day.
Yeah.
Is that the helicarrier that comes up at the end of Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Apparently, when Samuel L. Jackson's character, he's like, had help from an old friend. Apparently, that's Coulson.
Okay. I mean, that makes sense, but even then, it's not
It's
like...
very
It's
vague.
just like, oh, I had help from an old friend
Yeah.
who, could be anybody. Just like, oh, yeah, some guy from, I guess just some guy from the old S.H.I.E.L.D. days, big deal.
Like, it's just
it-
like Jim in the garage,
Yeah.
like polishing it.
It's just Bob from
My baby.
accounting. Like... It's just someone who like happened to have some helicarrier parts lying around.
I still think my favorite like reference in regards to the helicarriers is still the one from Winter Soldier
Yeah.
when he's like, yeah, there's no rotators. Stark gave us new designs after he got an up close look.
Oh
Which
yeah,
is
because he was jammed
in it.
Yeah, that's clever.
Yeah, it's a real throwaway line, but you're like, oh.
I actually like watching the MC movies just for like those subtle little references.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah.
I remember that.
There's
I remember
a lot
when
of
that
them in
happened.
there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, and I think that's another thing that sets them apart.
Mm.
Whereas, like with the Star Wars, what they're doing when they're trying
The
to build
Star Wars. You sound like my mom.
The Star Wars.
when it comes to the Star Wars like universe, like extended cinematic universe,
Yeah.
Solo felt like it was trying to do that, like with all the references, but the other way around. Like instead of referencing stuff that they'd done in one of the side movies, in like a later movie, it's a later movie that they're like, oh, we need to include this, we need to
Yeah.
include that, we need to include this.
Solo. There was a point.
Kessel Run.
There was a point in
Lando.
there was a point in Solo where like they referenced like everything in Han Solo's entire presence in the
Even
movies.
how he got his name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
including how he got his last name, which we
Ridiculous.
talked about in our first
Yeah,
episode,
it's
which is
still-
so worst part of the movie for me. But not only do they do that, but there was a point when I was watching the movie where I was like, they're referencing a whole bunch of stuff. Like, who is that person? And I had to look up afterwards. There's like 12 references to Star Wars Rebels in that movie.
Yeah, there's a lot of references
it's
to Rebels.
all
and,
Star Wars Rebels.
yeah, it's Rebels and a bit of Clone Wars because Aura Singh appears in Clone Wars.
Yeah, which
Same.
is like the first time they've ever actually made an attempt in the movies
Yeah.
to tie in the TV shows. They've never really.
Same as Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
Same
no,
as Darth
in
Maul.
Rogue One, I forgot what the ship's called.
yeah, the Rebels.
That's
the
true.
ship from
there is-
Rebels
yeah.
appears.
Yeah.
But even then, that's like that's like a little Easter egg, like throwaway in there. This one is like, oh yeah, this character, this character, this
Yeah,
character,
we're
this
actually.
character. Like,
Guess what?
remem-
They're actually canon
like,
properly.
Like, hey, you remember that character from Rebels? I'm the one who killed her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very subtle.
Yeah, just like.
Speaking of Star Wars, guys, did you know that Star Wars is connected to other universes?
Oh, here we go.
Oh,
What you
no.
got?
Well, everyone knows if you watch The Phantom Menace,
Yep.
little ETs pop up.
Yeah.
So ET,
Yeah.
and in the movie ET recognizes Yoda.
Yeah.
So it's
Oh
it's-
man.
Yeah, that's.
And there's also the theory that ET is a Jedi because he's magic for no reason,
Yeah. right.
Okay, fair enough.
right?
That-
And there's
That actually makes
also
sense. How old is ET? My God.
well,
For it to have happened a long time ago
but
in a
how-
galaxy far, far
well,
away.
Yoda's like 800.
Yoda's old as hell, but he dies in the sixth Star Wars movie. So if Star Wars happens a long time ago,
Yeah, but they killed him
Yeah.
off for writing purposes. Lazy writing. Star
Just so
Wars
can't
is
help.
also connected to the Star Trek universe.
really,
Tell me
Yes.
more. Tell me more.
It's very subtle.
oh,
So I think in the first two movies, so the first Star Trek, the modern movies, J.J. Abrams,
Yeah.
Yep.
and Into Darkness, you see R2D2 floating in space and stuff. He's
Really?
they actually put him in there.
Oh, shoot.
For what reason? We don't know. But
Well, see, we were just sort of spitballing and talking to Disney or LucasArts, and they kind of gave us the rights to use R2D2. We had to put him in somewhere. We paid $1 million for this.
I don't know if he actually got the rights for it. He was just like, I'm putting it in.
I'm doing it. I'm going to put him in now, and they're going to give me a Star Wars movie later.
And I actually have one more on here that I forgot to mention.
Yeah?
It's not Star Wars.
Oh, go
but
on.
like Ghostbusters is actually connected to the Casper movie.
Oh
I've
no,
heard
poor
about that.
Casper.
Didn't you know that? No,
I'd
not
heard
the
that
2016
before.
one. The original 84 Ghostbusters.
Yeah, but they're trying to bust ghosts. The
Yeah.
Casper is a ghost.
Well, because Ray Stantz, who's Dan Aykroyd's character, pops up and he runs out of the house. He's like, who are you going to call? Not me. You know, he runs out and he has a mustache as well.
Who you going to call? Not me.
Actually, no, I think he says you're going to call somebody else. I think he says somebody else.
That's really clever,
But
actually.
yeah, and it's Ray Stantz, so
Huh.
Yeah, I suppose.
references connected universes. Boom.
I don't know.
I wouldn't say yes to that one. But it's,
That's
you know.
clever. No, but that's small. That's subtle.
All
I
right,
like it.
so, well, we know Marvel can do it. Star Wars is
I would,
trying.
yeah, Star Wars is trying. I wouldn't say between like Star Wars 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and in the future 9. I wouldn't call that a cinematic universe. That's
because
very
they're
much like
sequels.
it's
I
very much
feel
a
like-
sequel to each other.
I feel like Star Wars is building their universe outside of cinematics though as well.
yeah, they're
And-
starting to do that.
'cause
Well,
with-
they're actually doing a 2019 live action show.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're doing a live
Oh
action
yeah.
TV
No,
series.
I think we've talked about that.
And it's John Favreau, I think, is.
really.
Wait, is that the one with the kid who plays young Boba Fett actually playing adult Boba Fett?
No, I don't think Boba Fett's in it. The only person they announced some of the cast, but I know what's his name, Poe Dameron.
Oh yeah.
He's
Okay.
in it,
Oh.
but that's as far as I know.
Isaac.
Because there was another one that was floating around ages ago where they were talking about having
I thought that was a Boba Fett movie.
yeah, it's the kid who plays Boba Fett playing Boba Fett, adult Boba Fett. He can pull it off, legit.
You reckon?
Yeah, he looks.
I haven't seen him in a long time.
He looks like
so-
he would if he grew up.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
looks like Jango Fett.
He looks just like Baby Boba Fett, but years later.
like he doesn't look exactly the same as Jango, which
Mm-hmm.
is annoying because they're clones.
Yeah, but you know,
Dumb.
maybe he's had his nose broken a few more times.
See, I
you
found
know.
the whole clone thing so dumb.
Oh, unbelievably so.
The Clone Wars?
I just hated all the prequels.
Yeah.
Anyway,
No,
that's not what we're here
the
to
best
we're
thing
not
about
here
the
to talk about
prequels is
the
the
Star Wars
memeing
prequels.
potential.
Yeah, well.
So Marvel's got it right. Star Wars is trying. Let's talk about who's failed.
DC.
Universal.
Oh no,
My
well
God.
DC are failing.
They're in the process of
No, they've actually failed,
shit
but they're still
canning.
going.
Yeah, they failed and they decided to go. You know what? We can really double down on this. Let's just
you reckon
really
they
make
can bring it back?
I reckon they need a
maybe?
reboot, but I won't.
The problem is
so
I don't
soon.
want a reboot because I want a reboot, but I don't with DC because
would you
they've
say
done some stuff
Flashpoint
right.
would be the perfect thing to do?
Flashpoint might be a good chance for it.
Was it-
Flashpoint would be a good
Because
opportunity.
it's like the easy way out.
Yeah.
A little
Wi-
bit.
without like just doing a full reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I want them to keep the same cast. Like Henry Cavill as
that's the
Superman
worst
is
thing.
amazing.
Yeah.
That is the worst thing about DC is that they've got
They've got the
brilliant
best
casting.
people.
perfect casting.
Yeah.
Except Jason Momoa, he's awesome as Aquaman, but he'd be perfect as Lobo.
Oh, you're
Oh,
right.
Lobo is such a cool. He's essentially Jason Momoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then we wouldn't get Bro Aquaman. I don't know.
I don't know.
Which one do I want more?
Cast someone else.
Anybody else?
Cast.
No, that's my approach to the Joker. Can I just get any other Joker, please? Can I just get
Yeah.
someone?
Yeah, you've got Joaquin
something-
Phoenix now.
Yeah, now I've got
Joaquin.
Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah, it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Can I just get Cause that's my big problem is they're throwing out like all these. We talked about this before, as where they're throwing out all these DC movies and they're not making any of them, and some of them I want to see, and some of them are total trash. Like
Shazam.
yeah, Shazam. They talked about Shazam. We're finally seeing details of Shazam, and they finally got like a picture of it, so we know Shazam's actually getting made. Maybe.
Oh, it is. No, it is made.
Yeah.
They've
But-
Yeah,
done
I've
film.
they're also making a Teen Titans movie,
Yeah.
TV show.
a TV show, a live action TV show, isn't it?
yeah.
That's
Will,
not going
will
to be
Cyborg
connected.
be in that?
I don't know.
It's Beast Boy, Raven, Starfire, Robin.
Okay.
I don't know if Cyborg's in it.
Oh, damn, that would have been a nice way to tie it in. But so what else have they got in the way? So they've announced a whole bunch of stuff, but they've announced like Flashpoint.
Cancelled.
Really? Did they
Cancelled.
cancel that? Oh, damn. They've got
Well, on the shelf. They're like, we can put it over here.
okay. the place where movies go to die.
Yeah.
Um, so they've got that. They've got Aquaman coming out soon.
Yep.
Shazam
which
on the
might
way.
actually get pushed back.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're wondering if they're going to push
Jesus.
it back or not.
Do they have anything on the way? Like,
Well,
if they push back
they are
Aquaman's the
gonna
closest to
release.
release.
Yeah, they are going to release Aquaman, but it is being pushed back. Wonder Woman 84.
Oh yeah, that's actually I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's filming. Shazam, and that's only those 3 movies are like done.
Those ones are the actual ones in production or set in stone.
And then it's all the other stuff. It's like we don't know what we're doing.
Yeah,
and
because
apparently
they've
they've confirmed Joaquin
You know what?
Phoenix.
The Transformers people seem to have more movies in production than.
Yeah.
They have like 7 movies ready to go, basically. Apparently.
What, Transformers?
Yeah, they said something like, "Yeah, they were like." I was reading an interview like maybe last year where they were like, "We've got 7 more movies or 6 more movies if we need to."
That needs to
Jeez.
stop.
Or they could just make a good one. Can
Yeah.
they just do that, please?
Yeah, one. Just one would be good.
Just
You know
just
what they
make
need to
a
do?
movie.
They need to just go off planet, fight robots, fighting giant robots. Like that's all they
Sure.
need to do.
Yeah, just give us a War for Cybertron movie. That could be fun. It'll just they'll give them excuse to make just a metal orgy movie because why did that have to be The Last Night? Anyway, I could rant about The Last Night for a long time, but today's not the day for it.
Well, essentially this episode is like let's write down things for other episodes.
Yeah, this episode should just be let's just rant about a whole bunch of stuff and realize we've gone off topic.
Yeah. Back
yeah.
to cinematic universe.
Yeah.
See, I think DC has some good ones.
Yeah.
Wonder Woman was good.
One of them was good.
Had a bit of a weak ending, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of
But I
fell off
mean,
a bit at the third act. but it was still
Marvel's
good.
had that as well.
Yeah,
I think like Marvel MCU at the moment is 10 and 10.
yeah.
There's literally because you have to do it now. There's literally the 10 good ones and the 10 bad ones.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because it literally there's a scale. It's half
Yeah.
and half now.
the first two Thor movies bad.
Yeah.
No, see, I like the first one. It was very
The
Shakespearean.
first one was, the
Yeah.
first one for me, like, it started really strong where it was
Theme-
all Asgard, and then the moment Thor ends up on Earth,
So
it's
I-
boring.
no, I like
It starts
that. I
to
like
sort
the
of
fish
fall
out
off,
of
and it's
water
just
stuff.
like...
Thematically?
Fish Out of Water is great, but it's just like, the entire movie is like 6 buildings in like a desert somewhere.
It's
Yeah.
a small town.
It's...
Thematically, Thor, the first Thor movie is good. From a filmmaking perspective, dear God,
no, see, I don't think it's.
it's full of weird angles, and I hate it.
That's Kenneth Branagh. I don't know.
Go back to voiceover, doing the voiceover for Walking with Dinosaurs and leave me in peace.
Please.
Well, I mean, I actually like the first one. I like a lot of the MCU that a lot of people don't like.
Yeah.
Like
But
what?
the second Thor, yes, is it's probably
Yeah.
the worst.
I've forgotten most of that movie just because it was
It's
all...
forgettable.
There-
The only
there's
thing
like-
you need
there's
to
like-
remember is the Soul Stone, isn't it? No, not
No,
the Soul
that
Stone.
one's
Yeah,
the Reality
it's
Stone.
The Reality Stone, yeah.
Yeah, that one's the ether. Which I remember like maybe a total of 3 minutes of that movie where it's like Thor gets his hand chopped off, except he doesn't because it's an illusion by Loki.
Yes,
There's
it
some
was
sort
ve-
of
it was
space
actually-
Asgard
it was a lot
battle.
darker, and that was cool. But
Yeah.
then,
It's the dark world.
well, the rest of the movie was just pretty lame.
Oh yeah.
And then for me, it's Iron Man 3. Like it's
Oh,
Yeah, Iron Man 3 is not great. That's
Iron Man
another one.
3, I felt. could
I
have
like
been,
a few things about Iron Man 3.
They started off really. They could have gone like somewhere really strong and emotional, but they didn't.
the thing is,
Yeah.
it shouldn't have been an Iron Man movie.
No,
Like it should have been its own thing.
maybe.
Yeah,
Like Shane Black
But-
should have just directed something with Rob Downey Jr. Like
yeah.
something else.
No, I would have liked had they lent more
but I did-
without the comedic stuff.
but I
There's just
did
too
like-
much comedic stuff there for me.
I did like some of Iron Man 3 where it's like it's the movie that shows Tony Stark isn't just a guy in a suit.
Yeah.
He's actually smart and
Yeah.
he's got all this engineering knowledge and ingenuity.
Yeah, but that was
That's
the,
not
that was
just
the
all-
most
it's
boring
not just
part
all
of the
the Iron
movie,
Man.
though.
But I
I
would
know,
have,
but at least it gives you like
which I would have
it
felt.
tells you more of that because a lot of people just see Iron Man as the Iron Man, like
would've-
the suit.
I would
and
have
it's
liked it
more
because it
than
would have
that.
fit more well and better into like the whole reason from creating Ultron.
Yeah.
And like all the robots that he does in like Age of Ultron,
Hmm.
rather than it because like as you've just sort of got him doing stuff and it's like, why have you done this?
Well, and it was stupid because it's like, he's blown up all these suits. He's taken his arc reactor out. It's like,
He's
it's
sitting
not
there
like he's.
I'm done, fresh start.
Yeah, it's well to
And then
me
the
it
next
sound,
time-
it's almost seemed like they've killed off a character.
A little bit. Like when I finished watching Iron Man 3, I felt like, oh, is that it for Tony Stark? Is he done with Iron Man?
Well, because you know, at
and
the,
then the next time we see him is Age of Ultron, where he's like, all right, guys, I'm in a suit flying around.
And then
Yeah.
there's that end credit scene with Banner falling asleep.
that was one of the worst end credit scenes.
And I
in
hated it.
MCU. And the other worst one is in the new Ant-Man movie.
Oh yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I actually really
Can I spoil it? Because it's actually not.
no. I think
it has
we should,
nothing
I
to
think
do
we
with
should talk
anything.
about. I actually really liked the post-credit scene of Ant-Man as far as post-credit scenes
Ant-Man
go.
or Ant-Man and the
Ant-Man
Wasp?
and the Wasp.
Well, the first. So there's a mid-credit and an end credit.
The mid-credit
The
one
mid-credit is really
the
good.
mid-credit one is really good and important.
Yes. The after credit. I'm gonna.
Okay.
It is literally. You've seen it in the trailer. It's a giant ant playing the drums.
But the
Oh.
thing is, it takes
That's
the
the
thing
whole
is,
thing.
so Ant-Man. So do you want me to just go full spoilers here? Is that okay?
No. He's.
Okay.
I've not seen it. Please.
Okay. I'll
I
just say,
just think that. It's,
I'll just
Yeah,
say,
no.
but I will say that, like, that very post-credit scene does take place. Like it's suggested that takes place after the Thanos snap,
Oh,
because it's the ant playing the drums, but there's like the emergency broadcast system on the TV.
Yeah. And it's very
you can
quiet.
hear people. It's like deathly quiet, except for like a couple of people. Like you can hear a couple of faint little screams outside.
And then
Yeah.
this, and then this giant ant playing the drums.
And there's but the ant playing the drums was like a thing that happened in the movie at one point. So it's like
Yeah.
it's already a thing that
It is-
that
yeah.
existed. There's a reason for
see,
it.
watch the
It sounds
movie to find
crazy.
out why.
It sounds crazy, but I think you should watch Ant-Man and the Wasp because I really liked it.
How have you not seen Ant-Man and the Wasp?
I know. I'm shocked
I
that
don't
you
have time.
Alex.
Alex
I've been
doesn't.
busy.
You always say you
Yeah.
never have time.
Yeah,
Just download it.
yeah.
I mean,
but
legally.
I will say Ant-Man and the Wasp I really enjoyed. But yeah, I think
whole movie?
For the most
Okay,
part, like
that's another discussion. With
okay. I think it was pretty solid. Like
I
there's
think
a-
it's on the-
I had a
I
few
think it's
little,
on- it's
I had a
in the
few little
lower
things with it.
10.
I think there's a
Maybe
few
we
little
should-
problems with it. Like I wasn't a big fan of some of the editing in it, where it seemed like sometimes it would just jump from one place to another.
Or
Where
the
it's like,
fact
hang
that-
on, what weren't those two like
Yeah.
just in a room together and now they're a mile away from each other? Like what's going on?
Or the fact there's no real villain.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give you that. But it's
Yeah.
like it struck something for
Has
me
no
which is similar to
urgency.
Spider-Man: Homecoming, where it's much smaller
But that had
scale.
that had a villain.
I know, but
and
like,
urgency.
it had a much
Anyway.
smaller scale to it. Like it
Let's-
wasn't
let's-
world-ending
let's-
disaster, which is
let's
which is a good break from Infinity
go-
War, where it is the
Yeah,
universe-ending
back.
disaster.
we're
To
But anyway, we're
the
stretching.
failed cinematic universe
Yeah.
that is the Dark Universe.
Yeah. Oh
Yes.
God.
That is something we have to discuss.
Oh, that is the biggest failure of any
Starting
attempt.
with Dracula Untold, but then not starting with Dracula
So
Untold.
Dracula
Yeah.
Untold was the first attempt,
Yep.
Yeah.
but
And-
it wasn't like a real attempt. It was like, if this works, this
Which
is,
it didn't.
This is the first movie
Yeah.
Yeah.
because they didn't announce anything.
No.
No.
But it came out after, right? Like
Yeah.
after the fact.
Yeah, yeah, it came out after that.
So-
So that this was their goal, was they're
Yeah.
trying to create like so if people don't know about Universal's Dark Universe cinematic universe,
It's a universe that's dark in the dark universe.
yeah, it's a bunch of like classic monster movies. Like you've got the Invisible Man, Dracula, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde,
Yeah.
the Mummy,
Frankenstein's monster.
Frankenstein's monster,
Bride of
the s-
Frankenstein.
something that, like the swamp monster,
the creature
some
of
kind?
the Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon, that's it. So it's all those in a single interconnected monster movie universe, which
Yeah. So their first real attempt was
Dracula
Tom.
Untold.
Well, besides that one,
Okay, yeah.
the first official one
Yeah.
was Tom Cruise's The Mummy, which is an atrocious film.
Oh my god,
So
I
bad.
need to see this because I've just watched clips of this and
I
it's
watched
all
it and
bad.
it was terrible.
How does
Yeah.
it rate compared to The Mummy 3?
Well,
Well,
I actually, The Mummy 3 had things going for it that had already established characters and
Yeah.
whatnot. So if I had to choose to rewatch one, I'd go to Mummy 3.
Oh.
Rise of the Tomb Raider or something, whatever it's called.
Rise of the Dragon Emperor?
I thought there's tomb in the title, isn't there?
Tomb of the
Scorpion
Dragon
King
Emperor.
was 2, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know. I thought there was definitely Dragon Emperor in the third Mummy film.
Yeah, that's is it the Tomb of the Dragon Emperor?
Maybe because it's the whole thing about the terracotta warriors, and then they summon all the mummies from the Great
Yeah.
Wall.
I've only ever seen the
And
end,
what
the
is
end of
this
the movie.
And there's the gag where, and then there's the whole thing where Brendan Fraser and his son are fighting, and it's like, how many mummies have you killed? One. How many mummies have you killed? One. Twice.
Yeah, there was two movies. So back to the 2017,
2017, I think.
Oh my god,
Yeah, it's Tomb of the Dragon Emperor. Sorry.
damn right. And I've never really seen. I've only seen the ending. Yeah. So Tom Cruise is the Mummy. They tried so hard to this is a connecting universe. and
Yep.
The problem was, which I think a lot of these universes, cinematic universes, have the problem is that their first movie is not good.
No.
Man of Steel is a 50-50 movie.
Yeah, I would say it's
good and
okay.
bad. But then their second one, where they really connected it, Dawn of Justice, terrible.
terrible.
Yeah, and the same with this. The Mummy is just a bad movie.
Yep.
Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Like,
Russell Crowe plays Dr. Jekyll.
no,
and Mr.
I didn't
Hyde,
mind
doesn't he?
that. I didn't
Yeah.
mind the casting.
No,
But there was the fact
someone
that-
told me that was like the best part of the movie.
It's the worst part. It's so disappointing.
Really?
You'd think he'd like, because you're thinking like, oh, they're gonna have like an Avengers team, which is what
Yeah.
their plan was. So you need like to copy Hulk, I guess. Like they're gonna have this big hulking character. Do you know what he does? His eyes change color, and he just turns into drunk Russell Crowe.
Does he throw a phone?
He
at
throws
you?
a phone.
Oh, you're joking,
I
really?
think he does actually, because he like wrecks his office up and stuff.
Oh my
Oh
god.
man,
Actually, you know what the best part of the whole movie is?
the end credit, the credits.
There's a scene where the female character, I forgot who it was, forgettable actress A. They're in a library of all these like rare books because there's like the secret bunker where like it's like the shield of the Dark Universe.
Yep.
And she's being, this guy's after her, this goon. So he tries to grab her, and she just grabs this really heavy book, hits him with it, and it's the Book of the Dead from the original Mummy series, like the Brendan Fraser ones.
you do.
Oh,
Like the big solid
does
gold
that,
book.
does that mean it's canon?
They came out after this movie was released, after it did bad, and they're like, oh, the Brendan Fraser mummies are actually connected. They're actually the first movies in this dark universe.
Yes, at least something good comes out of
The
the Dark
Mummy
Universe.
See, I feel like they've ruined it now.
Yeah.
Oh
a
yeah,
little
true.
bit.
Now it's part of the Dark Universe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now it's roped in with that garbage. Congratulations. It's the beginning.
Speaking
of,
of
the
Brendan
end.
Fraser, another reference to another movie. Apparently, Brendan Fraser's character in G.I. Joe: Rise of the Cobra is the descendant of Rick O'Connell from The Mummy.
Wait, does that mean the G.I. Joe Rise of the Cobra takes place in the Dark Universe?
Technically, yes.
That means that explains why it's
That
not
explains
that
why I
good.
didn't enjoy G.I. Joe.
It's not as bad as everyone says. I don't think. I had a bit of fun with it.
It's
But,
fun,
It's
but
a
not
dumb
great.
action movie, but it's by no means like.
But they
good.
already cast everyone. They cast like Javier Bardem,
They
Johnny
came out
Depp.
like The Mummy. I think hadn't even come out yet.
I think Angelina
and-
Jolie as well.
Yeah, and they basically put out like a cast photo of like here's the giant cast of kind of like how Marvel for like their 10-year celebration was like here's the cast of all of our movies. They put out like here's the cast of the movies we haven't made yet.
Yeah, I think
here's Javier Bardem as Frankenstein's monster, and it's like
Was
when
Johnny
you guys
Depp the
making that
Invisible
movie?
Man?
He was.
Who was the Invisible
I
Man?
think that
Johnny Depp.
Depp.
Did you see the cast photo?
No.
So it was Tom Cruise. So they had the biggest names.
Yeah.
Tom Cruise, obviously, he's the Mummy.
Yep.
Um,
Is Tom Cruise the Mummy, or
he's the Mummy.
Does he?
Did you watch the? Did
I
you
haven't
watch
seen the
Mummy?
Mummy yet. So
Are you gonna watch it?
Does he become a mummy?
He becomes the
I might.
Mummy.
Really?
Yeah, it's a terrible movie. It's so bad.
Okay, so I know there's a shot from the trailer where it's got like a close up of Tom Cruise's eyes, and they're doing like the split thing.
Yeah.
Is that him becoming the Mummy? Is that like
Yes.
the big reveal of the movie?
No, it's not really a big reveal. You see it coming.
Okay.
It's one of those movies you see everything coming, and then
Yeah.
at the end of the movie, it's like he's wandering off in the desert, and he's like wrapped up.
Oh.
Not like it's
He's sitting in there's the transformation scene where he's in the bathroom and he's like his eyes do the split and he starts shouting and all the toilet paper shoots across and wraps around him.
No.
Ah!
Yeah, it's terrible. And yeah, I can't believe they had Johnny Depp, Javier Bardem, Angelina
They had a
Jolie,
lot
like
of
all
big
these amazing
names.
actors.
They had really big names.
Russell Crowe, and then it's like, ugh.
And yeah, and that,
I would rather
think
watch
the
League
next-
of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, that is such a better movie.
Oh.
that's a
and
ringing endorsement.
Once
right
again,
there.
I think it's a bit
League
of
of
fun.
Extraordinary Gentlemen. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fair. But I think the next one that was supposed to be coming out was The Invisible Man, but then there's been nothing on it.
I
so-
thought it was I think it was Bride of Frankenstein for some reason.
Bride of Why
Who
would you
was-
go?
who was
Why would
meant
you
to
go
be the
straight
bride?
to Bride of
Angelina Jolie.
Frankenstein?
Oh, really?
Yeah, she was cast.
Javier Bardem and Angelina Jolie. What a lovely couple. I could see that.
So one that is a cinematic universe that is actually currently happening,
Mm.
and I feel is working, is the Godzilla King Kong.
Yeah.
So
I
yeah.
hadn't actually thought of that.
Exactly, that's why I saved it.
Yeah.
Oh.
2014's Godzilla.
Yeah.
Decent monster movie.
Decent. There isn't enough Godzilla in it.
It was
but
very
it's still-
Jaws,
Yeah.
where they hit him a lot, and
Yeah.
then they kind of revealed him at the end, but it was still pretty dark.
Yeah. There was like a couple of good shots of Godzilla, but there was never there wasn't very much like proper big wide shots of Godzilla being Godzilla. They kept it very close up until like the very end of the movie when
Where he starts spitting, he's like,
Yeah, when they finally hit you with
Nuclear.
the atomic breath.
yeah.
Yeah, which is actually really cool.
It was cool. And then obviously Kong Skull Island.
Also really good. I really enjoyed that.
And that had a after credit scene connecting everything with
that's
Link
true.
to Monsters. And the new, it was actually a small teaser got released today for the next Godzilla movie, which comes out next year. And it's Millie Bobby Brown from Stranger Things. She's on a ham radio searching for Monarch, which is the whole linking, government connection to
The shield of the Godzilla
Yes.
universe.
Everything is the shield of like,
Everything's
the
the shield of
universe.
something,
Maybe
right?
maybe that's it.
That-
Maybe
that's the
DC
answer.
doesn't have a shield.
That's actually a good point. There isn't. For most of these, there's some sort of
Although
organization.
the Dark Universe had one, so
I mean, yeah, the Dark Universe has one, and it doesn't work out. But still, DC's just got the Justice League, and come on, you can't just have the Justice League. They're the top tier.
Yeah, you're gonna have the mid.
such a disappointing movie for the Justice League. Anyway,
God.
and then 2020 is actually going to be Godzilla vs Kong.
Yes.
So that's going to be epic. And I
I'm
think
down.
the sequel for Godzilla is actually Godzilla King of Monsters.
Oh yeah.
So I'm King Ghidorah. Come on.
I have heard a few things about King of Monsters where I think there's you've got Mothra in it.
if
King
you don't have Ghidorah though, it's worthless.
I think there was a
Three-headed
tease
dragon
of that actually.
Well, in the
What was
after
it
credit
picture
scene to Kong, you see
Yeah, there's.
the cave paintings or whatever it is of Mothra, King Ghidorah was the last one.
Yep.
And then Godzilla and all this stuff. So
I know there's. I think I've seen on Godzilla, for the actual movie, there's been 2 shots that I've seen of it where they've done promo pictures, and one of them's pretty badass. It's just Godzilla firing atomic breath into the air.
yeah,
So I'm
I think
down.
that's the only one released.
Yeah. There's
then-
another one which was just a picture of a boat of 2 of the cast members. It's all right, cool.
Cool.
Great. Yeah, these people are in the movie, by the way. It's not just Godzilla. There has to be humans, apparently, because Transformers has taught us nothing.
Well, I mean,
If you watch the Japanese Godzilla vs King Ghidorah, half of it's about the people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, half of
You've
the
got-
original
That's the thing.
Godzilla
You always,
film
you always
is,
have to have a
about the
scale. You always
people.
have to have a scale.
well,
Yeah.
because every story has to have some element of humanity to it.
Yeah.
How do
Yeah.
you have humanity in a giant lizard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, in Godzilla vs King Ghidorah, is one of them starts piloting.
It's
Mecha Ghidorah is a thing in that film.
Mecha Ghidorah.
So what they do, there's a lot of time travel. So they go back in time to stop the nuclear bomb that starts Godzilla.
Yeah.
And so that's how they get King Ghidorah without Godzilla. So they take over.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make Godzilla?
So it's like the Terminator
but then
universe.
they
where if you
defeat
just
Ghidorah.
undo the bomb, you undo Sarah Connor.
No, and then they went back in time to make Godzilla again, or maybe a new Godzilla.
Mm-hmm.
But then they used a modern nuclear weapon, which is much more powerful than the
So
one
you
they
get a
used.
way more powerful
Yeah,
Godzilla.
you get a way bigger Godzilla.
That's how we reboot and make big Godzilla.
That's how they got a bigger
Thermonuke.
Godzilla who tore Ghidorah to shreds, and then he became Mech Ghidorah
Yep.
with pilots because he's got 3 heads. And I think
not?
one of them was organic, and 2 of them were mechanical.
Okay.
And so then they fought, and Godzilla won.
I like Mecha Godzilla,
Yeah,
Dope.
especially. Did you see Ready Player One?
No,
No,
I
no.
haven't yet. I need to.
You need to, it's like the best movie of the year.
Really?
Oh, and Avengers, I guess.
Okay.
and Avengers, I
Okay,
guess.
this
I
little
guess.
movie that came out.
Well, I feel
Kevin
like
Feige came out with
Ready
something.
Player One gets very. It's a very underrated movie, and it gets very overshadowed.
I've heard a lot of people saying it's very average. I want to see it. It's something that's been on my list.
It is definitely a movie that's it has that 80s feel. It doesn't have
Yeah.
deep storyline, and
No,
the
but
character development
never
isn't
needs-
fantastic, but it's
every movie.
this is a
needs to.
fun movie.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, that's all you.
And I
really,
mean,
at the end of the day, that's what you want.
In cinematic universes, which we're talking about, it references everything.
Oh yeah.
And there is a Mecha Godzilla pops up. There's a
Oh, really?
Gundam Warrior. There's you got every reference you can think of. But yeah, so I think the Godzilla Kong universe is something that is actually going to work.
Yeah.
It's working for me so far. It's 2 movies in.
Yeah.
But at least those movies.
And so far they're getting better because I think
Yeah.
Kong Skull Island is a really good movie
Yeah.
compared to say Godzilla, which I think is also a good movie. But
Yeah. I liked Godzilla, but I thought Kong was good.
Yeah, so
thought that
far
was
they're
good.
doing good by getting better and better, and hopefully the new Godzilla, they
steps
give
up.
us more action and stuff, which is what we missed out on the first one.
Yeah,
The
give us
Japanese
more
had already
monster.
done a Godzilla cinematic universe.
Yeah.
basically.
Oh yeah.
And that worked. Everyone knows the Godzilla films.
Yeah,
well,
of
that
course.
worked in Japan,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And some people who are into monster movies and
Alex.
Yeah. Hence why Alex can tell you all about like how Mecha King Ghidorah came
Yeah.
about and how
Well,
they
it's-
undid the birth of Godzilla.
It's not the first time that King Kong has versed Godzilla.
No.
So there's already that.
Yeah.
And it's the same as the Universal monsters. Like there's the creature from the Black Lagoon versus Frankenstein's monster.
Yeah.
How would you even go about connecting all of those movies?
All of those were connected back in the day,
God, it
like
just
in
seems
the 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it just seems so ridiculous to me these days. Like, oh yeah, we're gonna make a monster movie where, you know, Frankenstein's gonna meet Dracula,
Oh, no, I
and
think he- I
also
think he
the
versus-
mummy's gonna be there.
I think he versus the werewolf.
Maybe I don't remember.
Like,
But
I wasn't there.
I definitely feel that
so dumb.
the thing is that there have been extended universes in the past, kind of,
Mm.
but nothing on the scale of Marvel.
Nothing to the scale of 10 years of
And
20
20
plus
films.
films, all being like very big budget and also all being successful.
Yeah.
That's an important step. Like, no Marvel movie has properly flopped.
I mean, Solo did for Star Wars, and now
Solo,
look at
Solo
them.
flopped for Star
And
Wars,
now they're like,
and
we're
they
gonna
put
shelve this.
everything
They
on hold.
cancelled some plans. They had
Yeah.
a Boba
Yeah.
Fett movie.
They were like, oh yeah, we're going to have the Boba Fett movie. The
And
Obi-Wan, the Obi-Wan
Obi-Wan as
movie's been
well.
on talks for ages, and they were finally getting to the point where like maybe it seems possible. And then Solo came out and they said, yeah, we're putting all those anthology movies on hold.
See, but I feel like Disney shot themselves in the foot with that one by
A
releasing it
little
so
bit.
close.
We talked about this before, but yeah, it just seemed ridiculous to me that, you know, we won't get a Star Wars movie until December 2019.
Yeah, well,
But they decided to put Solo out 4 months out from
yeah,
Star Wars 8.
yeah, which got like panned.
Yeah, what was it called? The Last Jedi. It didn't do well.
yeah,
Or it did well.
It did
but
well.
It did really well, but a lot of people are saying like, there was a lot of people who didn't like it. And then for
Once
a movie
again,
to
it's
come
one of
out
those
so close-
50-50 movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
people are very split on
and
that.
so I
for
wouldn't have
sure.
released a film that's. I'd argue Solo is
put one
another
so
one of those
close.
50-50 movies.
Yeah.
Almost.
See,
I
I
like
think it's very average.
Yeah,
It almost felt like a Fast and Furious movie.
yeah.
Like there was a lot of car chases, a lot of heists, and I'm like, oh, okay.
I mean, that's kind of what I want from a Solo movie, honestly. Like, just make it kind of like a
Where was Vin Diesel,
smuggling
man?
heist movie. You know what?
family. Yeah, there's
I
definitely.
live my life a quarter mile at a time.
You see the Millennium Falcon seem to move like an inch. It's like, yep, quarter mile at a time.
I want to see the Millennium Falcon square off against Vin Diesel's
And just like,
Muscle
have like
cars for
Han
running.
have a gear stick.
20 gear shifts.
I wanted a 10-second pod racer.
Wow, race over.
Now this is pod racing.
Now this is pod racing. One lap.
It was actually there's a fan theory as well that Star Wars and Indiana Jones are connected.
Really?
And there was a non-canonical graphic comic book.
I'm going to say right here,
Yeah.
does a connection happen in some way involving the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull?
No,
Oh,
Okay.
thank God.
I think it
got
was
me
actually
here.
made before that.
Okay.
I'll discuss this graphic novel and then the fan theory about the movies.
Mm-hmm.
So what happened in this graphic novel is that the Millennium Falcon somehow crashes on Earth. Han Solo dies in the wreck.
Mhm.
Chewie wanders Earth for years and years, being mistaken for Bigfoot, or becomes Bigfoot.
Yep.
And then Indiana Jones discovers Han Solo's body. So there's that. I don't know if it, whatever.
No, that kind of makes sense.
But it's non-canonical.
Yeah.
And then the fan theory about the Indiana Jones movies is that they're actually dreams of Han Solo while he's in carbonite. And
I think I've heard this.
there is
yeah.
proof.
Where's the connection there?
So there's Club Obi-Wan. In Raiders of the Lost Ark, there's on the plane it says Obi and then 3PO.
Huh.
Yeah, there's a lot of references, and even when he's grabbing the golden head at the start of the movie, on one of the pillars, it's actually engraved. Like there's an image of R2D2 and C3PO.
Really?
Yeah, that was
I
a
think I've
George
heard that
Lucas
one.
little cameo thing.
Oh, okay. Yep.
And also in Temple of Doom, Dan Aykroyd also shows up with a mustache. Just saying.
Of course.
Does that
It's
connect
all,
it? Does that,
it's all tied in.
Connected to Casper, connected to Ghostbusters.
What we've proven is that the Dark Universe Cinematic Universe is connected to every movie that's ever
connected to
existed,
everything.
including Ghostbusters, Star Wars, and the Marvel movie.
But yeah, so the theory is that he's Han Solo is in carbonite dreaming about been Indiana Jones or something. So,
Hmm.
yeah, which is a good theory because there is a lot of Star Wars references in thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That makes sense to me. But those are, yeah. I mean, it's two of Harrison Ford's like biggest things, and it is Raiders was Spielberg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I know
All-
Spielberg and George Lucas were like
George
very tied
Lucas
together.
wrote all of them.
Yeah, I was about to say. it was-
Spielberg directed all of them.
Yeah.
All three of them.
You know they're making a fourth one?
You mean a fifth one? Oh my god.
Yeah. God damn it.
I don't know. I'm wondering if they can learn from their mistakes, but also like to me, it's like they've already tainted it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would have said that would be probably one of the best trilogies
Mm.
of all
Yeah.
time, and then
Yeah.
they ruined it with that piece of garbage.
I would have
Yeah.
liked it to have actually been like a handoff to a successor type film rather
Yeah.
than.
I mean, at the same
rather
time, just
than
make a
Indy
new
being
Treasure Hunter movie.
Yeah.
You know, like if you can make you've
A
got
what?
all these
Like Nicolas Cage movie.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like
please.
a new
National Treasure 3,
Treasure 3, please. But yeah, like just make it different.
God.
It doesn't have to be Indiana Jones.
Just
Like I get the name. Like that bears a lot of weight to it. Like to say yes, this is an Indiana Jones movie is better than saying, by the way, this is a like blah 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 movie.
Make Indiana Jones a title or something.
Yeah.
Would
Like-
you,
like that
say
explains why
Indiana
they want
Jones is a cinematic universe? There is
No.
a connecting television show,
Is there?
The Adventures of Young Indiana Jones.
Oh, I
I've
remember
never
reading
heard of
about
Oh, I think that's what it's called.
Yeah,
but it's
it
also
exists.
it also references past the movies. So
Yeah.
there's an old Indiana Jones where he's like missing. He's got an eye patch and he's old and got a beard. There's even one episode where Harrison Ford actually reprises his role.
Really?
Yeah,
Wow.
and he's like middle aged, Indiana Jones. So there's like young, middle aged, and old.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's actually cinematic universe confirmed.
Oh, the Indiana Jones cinematic universe.
But then
I'll take
it's like
that.
doesn't work anymore because there was like Kingdom of Crystal Skull. Now
Yeah.
they're making a new
Yeah.
one.
And yeah, if
Maybe
they
he'll
make a
lose
new
an
one-
eye and grow a beard, and it'll all be canonical again.
Oh my
Maybe
God.
maybe he'll find the wreckage of the Millennium Falcon. Han Solo's
That'll be
corpse
good.
will be
He-
in there.
He'll fight Bigfoot, and it's just Chewie.
I'd love that. I was about to say that. Like,
That would
how
be
good would that be
amazing.
if he's just like, it's like we're on the hunt for Bigfoot, and then it's just like,
Now I want to see Harrison Ford as like an aged Indiana Jones who's become like a crossover between Indiana Jones and the cast of Mountain Monsters.
Yeah.
We're gonna get ourselves a Bigfoot.
and
yeah.
he looks like Snake Plissken. Like he's got the mullet, he's got an eye patch. That'd be epic.
I think we've just found out the best movie that will ever exist, and no one's gonna do it.
Yeah, but Chewie is played by what's his name, not the new dude, the original actor.
Oh, the
But
one who
Peter
actually,
Mayhew.
the one who actually can't
Peter
walk.
Mayhew, yeah.
Yeah, he's,
Oh, he can't walk?
No.
Why do you think he wasn't in
Oh, I didn't realize he
Solo?
couldn't
Yeah.
walk.
No, he can't walk, dude.
What happened?
I don't know.
He's old,
Yeah,
and he's like
17 at
7
this
foot
point.
tall.
Yeah, true. I know now they've got some basketballer dude.
Yeah.
Does Peter Mayhew still do the voice, or is it this
He
dude
might
as well?
do.
I don't think he ever actually did the voice.
Oh.
Yeah,
Yeah, that might have been synthesized.
I think it
I'm not
was.
sure.
Yeah, I think they just made something for the voice.
like
Oh my god, sorry.
Why didn't I turn you down when I saw you doing that? So you wind up, and I should have grabbed it.
But yeah,
Chewbacca impression is lacking.
is there any cinematic universes you'd love to see?
Oh gosh.
I mean, there is the Star Trek cinematic universe.
Star Trek. Oh yeah, that's fair.
I mean,
you've got
see,
enough
but it
like sort of
depends.
Well, actually,
sections in the universe.
would you say that's cinematic universe? Because like,
And most of it
It's a lot
appears
of
in
TV
TV
shows.
rather than film.
Yeah.
but there is films. There's like so the original series.
Yeah.
The original series is connected all the way up until Enterprise, and then the remake, which is
Okay.
Discovery.
No, so.
Well, you're not talking about those.
No. Let me get into how all the Star Trek TV shows are combined.
Except Discovery.
No, Discovery does take.
Discovery's linked to the new movies. Yeah, Discovery.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, Discovery's connected to the new
Okay,
movies.
because
Yeah.
Discovery also takes place in like an alternate reality or something. So, I'll
Discount that one for now.
there's a whole bunch of alternate reality stuff that happens.
Yeah.
And so it goes the original series, Next Generation, Voyager happens at the same. Sorry, Voyager, Deep Space Nine, and the Next Generation basically happen at the same time.
Okay.
You see Janeway in one of the Next Generation movies. I think it's Nemesis, which also stars Tom
That's
Hardy.
the movie.
Yeah, Nemesis is the movie.
Yeah, it's got Tom Hardy. I think it was his first movie.
Really?
Yeah, he plays
Wow.
a young Captain Picard,
Really?
like a clone
But-
of
yeah,
a clone
evil.
of Patrick Stewart.
Oh, that's
Young
but evil.
evil.
Oh, wow, that's a hell of
Yeah,
a
it
role.
really threw me off when I saw him in an Inception with hair. Wait, why do I know this actor's voice?
But go on.
And then so all those TV series happen simultaneously. Enterprise is a prequel.
It's a prequel. It's
to the original series.
Yeah.
So it happens just after the Federation happened.
No, I think it's like 100 years. Oh no, yeah, sorry. It's
either
it's set 100 years before the original series.
Yeah, it's either just after the Federation happens or it happens during that series. And later there's a bit where like it turns out it's all just a hologram.
Starring Scott Bakula,
Yeah.
star of Quantum Leap.
Yeah. You know what really bothers me is that Jonathan Frakes appears in almost all of the Star Trek series
Except the original.
except the original. Because his clone appears in Deep Space Nine. And I think he rocks up at some point just in Voyager, just rocks up. He's like, what's going on?
Yo, sup?
Yeah, like basically, I think Q summons him and he's like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
It's just a dumb reference that they made.
Fair enough.
But yeah, at the same time, so they're all connected. And the movies do follow on.
Yeah.
So Nemesis, there's Generations, which is crossover between...
Best death in cinematic history
Oh.
Yeah.
of William Shatner's character, Captain James T. Kirk. Yeah, I'm nerding out.
Yeah, here we go.
So he actually dies
Is
in
this
it.
the part where I say that I have like almost no Star Trek knowledge? Like,
It's
so
obvious.
You
minimal?
know what's really
Yeah.
good though? You should actually
clear.
watch the original series.
Yeah?
And I would even say Next Gen.
Yeah.
To be honest, I'd say skip all the others.
Yeah,
Fair
next Gen is fantastic.
It's written very well.
Yeah. The first season's a bit...
Yeah.
If you see Riker and he's got a beard, you're all good.
Okay, so provide him
that's
seeing
how you
William
know.
Riker with a beard. Got it.
That's actually, I was rewatching it once. I was like, when does he grow the beard? And just
Season 2, I think.
Season 2 starts and I'm like, here's the beard.
But I would say definitely watch the original series.
Yeah.
It is
Okay.
actually really, it's written so good. And you think like, this is like 66?
yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and
it
it's
ran for it's only got like
Three seasons, yeah. So
But
it
then
ran
it got
from
cancelled.
68 to 60,
Yeah, I don't know.
66 to 68, I think.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's so good. And then I kind of forgot what I was saying.
yeah. So
Best death.
I like
Best
on-screen
death, yes. So in Generations,
Mm.
James T. Kirk from the original series, he dies in it,
Yeah.
and Picard's holding him, and I was like, it's like if you're a Star Trek fan, this is like nerdgasm.
Yeah.
But he's like, he's dying, and he goes, "Oh my," and just passes out.
Oh my.
Like that's what he said.
Oh
I think it's
my.
so good, so like, oh my, like such a William Shatner
Oh,
death,
dying.
like so good.
If you can have William Shatner die, that's how you do it, right?
Oh my, oh.
Oh, I am dying. The life is leaving my body.
I like Voyager, but most of that's out of nostalgia anyway, because that's the one that was on TV when I was like young.
Yeah.
I watched a lot of it then. Deep Space Nine I never got into. It's just on a space station. It's Babylon 5, but Star Trek.
Ew. Anyway, any more cinematic universes you'd love to see?
I would have loved to have once seen a Transformers cinematic universe, but that's turned to ash in my mouth.
I forgot another cinematic universe that they're currently making.
Oh?
The Harry Potter one.
Yes, I wrote this down in my notes to talk about this, and I totally let it slip.
It is. Do we have time?
Yeah, let's touch on it. Let's go.
It's
it's
shit.
basically
We'll
two
end
series.
this-
I'm gonna start right at shit.
For me,
because
it's not
Fantastic
even a
Beasts-
cinematic universe at the moment.
Well, it is because it's a spin-off.
it's really loose at the moment because at the moment it's the Harry Potter movies. So you've got like
Yep.
the 8 or 9 Harry Potter movies, and then you've got Fantastic Beasts.
Is it 9 movies, 2 stories, like 2 same stories, like the
8 books, 9 movies, right?
yeah. So
Deathly
Deathly
Hallows
Hollows Part 1 and 2. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's
No,
Harry
no,
Harry
s-
Potter.
sorry. 7 books, 8 movies.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
5 other movies connecting to the Grindelwald
5
thing.
other movies?
Yeah, Fantastic Beasts has 5 movies attached.
Oh, okay. So they've already announced 5.
I doubt they'll
Yeah.
do 5 though.
Because there's Fantastic
Money,
Beasts
money, money.
1. There's Fantastic Beasts
I
and
don't
Where to
think
Find
it's,
Them.
I don't think it's doing that well.
There's Crimes of
We'll
Grindelwald.
see how the second one goes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Crimes of Grindelwald is the second one.
That'll be the make or break moment. Is Crimes of Grindelwald.
Well, I saw Fantastic Beasts and I'm like, this is such a boring movie.
I have not gotten into.
And I
I've
saw
not
the
gotten
bad
into
guy
Fantastic
from.
Beasts
I
as
actually
much.
knew the bad guy was Johnny Depp from the start.
Yeah, like
Yeah?
I saw it as like halfway through the film, like that's Johnny Depp.
Yeah,
that's
same.
Johnny
That's
Depp's
Grindelwald.
character. Anyway,
But yeah, so that's kind of there's a lot of extended
Wait,
universe
is
stuff with Harry Potter.
Is the play The Cursed Child?
no, that's not canon. I don't consider
Is
it
Cursed
canon.
Child not canon?
no, but
It is canon, but I
It-
don't consider it.
well,
but
so it
it's
is
still-
canon.
it's
so
not a
that-
film.
yeah,
don't-
but
don't like
yeah,
it.
but it's
Leave it
canon
alone.
it's canon to the book, which that's kind of
It's
that's the
canon-
thing about Harry
canon
Potter. Is
to
you've
the
got
peop-
like
it's canon
you've
to
got
the
movies,
people.
the book. You've got the 2 film franchises, the books, the play, the other play.
No, that's just 2 plays.
Yeah.
It's just the one. Cursed Child is 1 play.
But then you've also got I know you've got Puff, which is
Puffs
probably
isn't
not the same.
Puffs isn't canon at all.
No?
It's just a fan thing.
Okay, so
It's like
a
fan fiction.
Alex,
Okay, that's
Alex,
what I was wondering.
Alex got turned down.
Yeah.
Oh.
Shut up, Alex.
I've been slowly turning Alex down the entire show as he starts getting louder and louder.
But anyway, I think we should leave it there before I start having
just
ranting.
nerding out and shit.
Yeah.
Okay, so that'll be it for this week. Come back next week because we've got a episode that. So Alex, you won't be on next week, but
No.
instead we've got Tyler from our Transformers episode, who's
Yeah.
bringing along David, and they're going to be talking to us about Lord of the Rings, not the one you know with Peter Jackson. We're talking about the 1978 animated film. So that's going to be something else, from what I understand.
What's your Facebook link?
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah. So you guys can catch my channel at Rewind Replay.
Yeah.
So at Rewind Replay AU
Yeah.
is our links to everything: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. It's all at Rewind Replay AU.
yeah.
Here's your chance to whore yourself out, Corey. Tell us all about your show.
Well, essentially, we just review movies. We've come up with a new game. It's called Movie Title Tennis, which I think we should play on here one day.
Yeah.
Yep.
If we get a free episode, we'll.
Absolutely.
And we just do top 10 stuff like that.
Okay.
We're very laid back, chilled. Message us, and we'll think about messaging you back. So.
Ooh.
Yeah. Well, our people get in touch with your people.
Yeah.
So that's Rewind Replay.
All right, so check out Rewind Replay. There we go. Now you're getting me to plug your show. That's convenient. And I gotta go back to plugging Mike's camera action here. So come back next week, and
Alex is like ready to run.
Alex
out
is
the
ready to
door.
run. He's got to go catch that.
Yeah.
He's got to go catch the wombats, and that's
Yeah.
all for us. We'll see you next week on Mike's camera action.